Hey, what's up, everybody? It's
What's
the Digi
going on?
Bros, and we're gonna play a fucking Game Boy
Fire
Advance game for the first time
Emblem.
on this show. You can go ahead and get
This was
started.
one of my favorite games growing up
Oh my god, this
because
looks beautiful.
the first Fire Emblem Game Boy Advance game was pretty hard, and there was no way to grind. So like if you fucked up leveling up your characters, then you were kind of fucked through the entire game. And in this
Right.
game, it has a friendly little like grind function, and so you can just do a bunch of little free missions and level up your guys, and it was just okay.
Well, I would say it's more that in Fire Emblem 7 that like that you were supposed to like pick who you wanted to be your main guys. Like
Yeah.
you really had to strategize.
Well, it doesn't
your
give you that
grinding.
many, so it's not hard to like choose your main guys in that. But then it's like if you use one guy too much and not
Right.
the other guys, they're gonna end up underleveled. We're not gonna watch any of the cutscenes in this because it's all reading.
Well, our buddy Hypocrite, who we just mentioned on the incredibly brief Uncharted Let's Play that we just did, like right before this one.
Smunchy.
Our friend Hypocrite is a very big fan of Fire Emblem, and he was explaining to me how he's done like a million runs of Fire Emblem 7, and like there's certain characters who are like basically every character scales differently. So there's some who start off really strong, and then like when you level them, they won't really get that good.
Yeah.
But there's others who you can make like
Yeah, it's
really
all about
amazing.
scaling them. Like there's certain ones you get in the latest game that starts out as like a peasant and they're weak as shit, but then that gives them the opportunity to level up to like level 20 more than one
Damn.
time.
Oh damn! She hit him twice.
Hell
Even though
yeah.
he was already dead. This
She
girl's
got that
cute
rip
as
here.
fuck.
Oh, man.
I will say that I played Fire Emblem 7 a lot growing up, you know.
Yeah.
But I never was very good at it. So
I can never
made
beat it. That's the one I've like really never beaten at all.
Yeah, I never made it past 15X, which is like the special stage after 15, because I would never let any characters die.
Yeah.
So like if I lost a character, I immediately restarted, and I just could never beat that level without losing anybody. This game I played like up to level, I want to say 18, and it was funny because I had like my axe dude, I had him up to level 20 because I had like just grinded straight up and got that guy maxed out. But like I would somehow always get someone killed
Shit.
on this
Hell
one
yeah.
level.
Sorry, I was very excited about the critical.
Yeah, so like I never beat either of the games, and then I haven't played any of the Fire Emblem since the GBA. Like,
Yeah.
I got Path of Radiance on the GameCube, and that one was just kind of disappointing.
That's kind of
'cause
my
it's
least
ugly
favorite
as
one because
fuck.
I started playing it on an emulator not too long ago because I was
Yeah.
like, this is the only one I haven't played through. I need to play it again, and I got like halfway
I
through
thought
and
you
just
did
kind
play
of.
through it because you played the Wii sequel and you loved it.
I played the Wii sequel and I loved it, and then the GameCube one, like, I just didn't like the feel of it on the GameCube.
Right.
So I was playing it again recently, and I liked it, but then, like, I got halfway through and just kind of lost interest because it just wasn't,
I
as
think-
engaging as the
I
new
think
ones,
the
I
biggest
think.
issue, like this game, and 7 are like gorgeous to look at. Like the
Yeah.
way that the sprites are animated is so cool. Like every sprite has like this, like when they attack, it's really satisfying. It's total that Nintendo polish, even though this is, you know, intelligent designs, but like they really know what's up. The sprites look amazing. The character designs are great. All the attacks are really satisfying. So like when you're watching your dudes attack each other and fight, it's like you don't even feel, it never gets boring. Like no matter how many fights you watch, it's always cool because you're watching your guys fucking hit all hard on the enemy.
Yeah.
In fucking Path of Radiance for GameCube, the fights just took way too long, and they were like, the backgrounds were ugly because everything was like really dark. And
Yeah, it's really, and the attack animations take forever, and so like when I was playing it recently, I just turned off the attack animations,
Yeah.
and that kind of takes a lot of the fun
it
out of the
immediately
game.
is no longer fun.
Because you're just watching them like kind of hit each other back and forth. And I must have played 20 hours out of some shit while I was listening to The Biggest Problem in the Universe, and I was like, I'm just done playing this. I don't need to see how it ends.
Yeah, I wasn't into it.
That's some cool cutscenes at least.
After that, I never ended up, because I've never been into the DS or 3DS, so I never really like even attempted those games. But yeah, these old GBA ones, man, they are the shit. And this one was also my favorite just because of the grinding, because it just makes it a lot like easier. And It's fun to just like just get way overpowered and just be able to just fucking destroy enemies, you know?
Yeah.
I don't mind grinding in games when the grind is fun. Like, that's what got me through Bloodborne eventually, was realizing that, like, the game is just fun to play, and so grinding the same area over and over again would not be that big of a deal, you know? And I did, and it was great.
Do.
You know, well, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about Bloodborne, because we might do...
We talk about Souls games way too much.
Well, I'm also considering, because we've been talking about maybe doing a special where we get Dansan to speedrun the game and we commentate over it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I want to do that with... I want to do that with Dansan for Bloodborne and Dark Souls with Shade.
I see.
And I want to get each of them to speedrun the... Shade's, like, super excited about the idea, and he was, like wanting to practice so that he could, like, do a good enough... like speedrun of Dark Souls.
Could be neat.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting.
See, this guy does way too much damage. Thank God he missed.
Well, he's attacking
fuck.
again.
I fucked up. Because now he gets 4 experience from killing that guy. Like, what a fucking waste when I've got all these other dudes who need to level up.
Right.
Oh, what a jackass.
Well, again, this game is grinding.
Now he's gonna kill. Wow.
Big of a
These
deal.
early levels are too easy.
Yeah.
Because you could... everyone hits twice on a fucking...
Because I was gonna say, the last time I played was...
Here we go. Wasted. I might as well restart this level. Oh god, what the hell? What did I do?
It's not that big of a fucking waste, is it?
It's
just...
a little bit. I could have been, like, 2 level ups killing those guys.
For who?
Now the knight hasn't gotten anything.
You've got the girl, like, packaged up.
Oh, there's some guys here.
And this is, like, the tutorial levels, isn't it?
Yeah, but, you know, everything counts.
Because in...
At least there's grinding.
In 7, after the tutorial levels, you completely change characters. Like, you take on, like, totally different guys.
Yeah, in this one, after the tutorial levels, you can either... I think you can either stay playing this girl or you play her brother, the guy with the lance.
Right.
And I always play the guy with the lance because it's like, of course I want to be a fucking lance guy. Like, that's awesome.
You know, there's no way I would switch from the girl. She's cute as fuck.
It's like my favorite game just because you get to play as a lance guy and you don't have to be the sword guy. Always wanted him to be in Smash Bros.
So yeah, last time I played this was when we did the 24-hour live stream. Because the first 14 hours was when Victor was awake, and he was playing Demon Souls and then Dragon Crown and Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah.
And then Victor went to bed, and so I was going to just play... Originally, I wanted to play, like, Final Fantasy VI or Pokemon, but both of those took a little too much concentration. So I got Fire Emblem, because it's a game where you can easily pause at any time. Like, you don't have to make a move. You can just sit there. And it was funny because for the first few hours, I was like talking to Jesse and having a good time, like playing the game because it was the tutorial levels. And I was just thinking, like, I didn't realize it was a tutorial.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, this game is so much easier than I remember it being as a kid. I am just just rocking through this. Like, and then it gets to where it's not a tutorial anymore. And I was like, oh, like, and suddenly it took, like, all of my concentration.
Yeah.
And, the last couple hours of the live stream, I was just, because I was already, like, dead, like, totally gone, tired, and couldn't even talk right, you know? And Jesse was supposed to be reading me questions, but he was just arguing with people instead of reading because he said he wasn't reading me any questions he didn't understand, which is most of them because it was anime questions.
Yeah.
So he wasn't reading me the questions, and I was too tired and out of it and trying to concentrate on the game to, like, you know, really care. And people were getting mad, but whatever.
I'm like
24 hours.
It's hard to concentrate on what you're saying while I play this game, but there's also enough downtime that, like, I don't have to constantly think.
Yeah. Well, it's just that when you start getting, like, tactical, then you have to, like, really consider, like, oh, what am I...
Luckily, I've played enough Fire Emblem that it might come more naturally.
So I think it's very important we explain the very basics of this for people who don't know what the fuck Fire Emblem is. This is a tactics game.
I'm gonna trade with
Swords beat axes.
Yeah, it's a rock, paper, scissors system.
Yes.
So it's swords beat axes, axes beat lances, lances beat swords.
Okay, go ahead.
Come on, man, let me explain something.
Alright, fine.
I love this game.
The blue squares are where you can move, and the orange squares are where you can attack.
Yeah.
So some characters, if you have, say, a bow, there might be more orange squares because they can attack over a distance, whereas, these guys can only attack at the end of their movement range. Anything else you want to explain about the very basics?
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. There's also magic, and that has its own rock, paper, scissors system. I don't know if this game has that yet. Or there's, like, lightning, fire, and then...
that does in the first...
Yeah.
Yeah, these ones, the Game Boy Advanced ones, are pretty fucking straightforward. It's just like, you go in, there's a map, you take a turn where you move, the enemy takes a turn where they move. Sometimes there's fog of war, sometimes there's like a, like wetlands or something. Like the topography matters.
Yeah.
And
like the little trees on the map, you move slower through trees.
Yeah, and they can offer like advantages to evasion and shit like that, I think. Different places you're standing affects things, but like...
Yeah, if you stand on little castles, you'll regain health.
The newer games have more going on, right? Where there's like relationship systems
Oh
and
yeah,
shit,
there's a lot of new systems. Like there's a system with relationships where... If two characters, you can combine them into one unit, basically, and like the higher their relationship is, the more stat bonuses they'll get as a combined unit, which is really fucking overpowered as hell in the new game. If you get like your strongest guys with their S rank fucking relationships.
To clarify, when you say
invincible.
the new game, you're referring to Awakening.
Yeah, Awakening. The new one is not out yet.
The new one will probably be out by the time these videos start coming out. Like,
true.
when does it come out? Do you know what day?
Well, it comes out February 14th or 19th. Around there. After my birthday. I think it's 19th.
So this might actually release alongside the new Fire Emblem game. Which makes it, like, topical in an ass-backwards way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be funny.
But yeah, this is a classic 2000s GBA game. And I gotta say, man, GBA aesthetic is probably my favorite aesthetic.
It's pretty cool.
In games.
It's fun to look at.
Because Game Boy Advance games, as I learned over, like, I didn't know this, growing up, because I just thought, whatever, I didn't think about it. But, like, GBA games are really bright. They all have really bright color palettes.
Yeah.
And, like...
Oh my... Dude's got one health left.
And I think it was just because, like, they, What, are you attacking again? Didn't he attack you first?
Huh?
Didn't the opponent attack first? Oh, you're gonna heal him. Okay.
Yeah.
Couldn't she just finish that guy off?
Yeah, but I want the knight to get the level up. What I've been doing right now, I've been doing this in a very roundabout way of playing this early level, but when you kill a boss, it's almost like guaranteed that the guy who kills it is going to level up. So I'm really trying to get this knight to kill him, because the knights are fucking hard as hell to level up because they have very slow movement.
Right.
So you only get so many chances to kill a guy with them. And they start off with pretty low attack stats.
They tend to be good against bosses because they have a lot of defense.
Well, they're good. A knight is good because you can put them out first in front of all your other troops.
Right.
And then instead of attacking, you just like end your turn and then let all of the enemies funnel in around him. And then you use like your archers and your mages to pick off the enemies that surround the knight.
Yeah.
Which is shit I love to do, especially when you get like a fortress defense mission where you have like 3 entrances to a place.
I adore the character designs in these games.
Fire Emblem has the greatest characters.
They're very 90s, but in a way that doesn't feel too dated.
And I mean, they've evolved over the times to look more modern.
Well, this game came out in like 2006, and it looks very 90s.
But they're so cool.
Yeah, the girls are really hot in Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
The boys are very hot too.
We did it. We're on chapter 2.
It's got that cross-gender attraction appeal.
And then you get that derpy ass.
That's adorable.
Menu icon.
Adorable.
Those classic eyes.
I'm trying to think of what it reminds me of.
Bomberman?
No, I'm thinking anime. Like what specific type of show? Full Metal Panic? Little bit of Full Metal Panic.
Oh, alright. Ooh, we got a Pegasus Knight. We got a healer. All kinds of shit going on.
I'm pretty sure this is one of those where like they've had the same character designer for every game too. Like it's just there's just a guy who does every Fire Emblem game. Same with like Shin Megami Tensei.
So another thing in these games, if there are green dudes with good character designs, that means that they'll probably join your team. So you have to try to get to them before they die and talk to them with your leader, and then they might join your team.
Or sometimes a context-specific character who's like related to them.
Yeah.
Brother.
If you see red villages, you'll get an item when you talk to the people inside.
Yeah. What was I talking about? I feel like I was saying something and then I forgot.
Warp Star.
Before I started talking about the character designs.
Did
Did
you get a new hat?
No.
That's a shame.
Get a new hat. Thank you.
I'm playing
Thanks
Xbox.
for asking.
Fire Emblem's great. I love playing this game.
Yeah.
I feel good as fuck right now.
It's a fun game. I don't know how fun it is to watch. Oh,
what the fuck? He died real fast.
Maybe he wasn't gonna join you.
No, I probably had to help him faster. I know that guy joins me because he's one of my favorite dudes.
Do you want to try to restart the level?
Yeah, I'm gonna restart the level.
You probably had to get that fucking girl, Pegasus.
Yeah, Pegasus probably had to talk to her first. See, if you want to restart the level, you hit suspend, then you go back.
And then you don't click resume chapter.
Yeah,
You click
restart chapter. In
Oh,
Fire Emblem, if someone dies, they're dead for good, and it's fun to try to keep everyone alive.
I think that's how most people play.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people.
You don't want
let
all your
people
guys to die, especially early in the game when you only got so many dudes.
Like I've had people. Someone like joked. I was talking about Fire Emblem, and someone was like, "You didn't let characters die, did you?" And I was like, is that a thing? Like, does anyone let characters die? Like, I've never even, like, considered it as a kid. Like, I thought of that as just you failed. Like, if someone died, it means you lost the game, you know?
I might, like, if I get really, really far into the game and I'm on a real hard mission that I'm about to win, I might let someone die if they're kind of expendable.
Didn't you say in this particular game that there was, like, when you got to the final battle, you let, like, everyone die in the final battle?
No, that was in Awakening. Or no, that was in the Wii game. Like, I let everyone die because I was like, fuck yeah, I'm on the last one, fuck it.
But then you don't get to see their endings.
Yeah, but I don't really care about their endings because I
Yeah.
don't pay attention to the story anyways.
That's a funny thing. You're really into Fire Emblem, and I bet you know none of the story.
Nah, in the Wii one, I started following it like halfway through because it started getting really epic, and I was like, wait, what's going on? This looks pretty cool.
Yeah. I remember you saying that you really loved the story of Radiant Dawn, and that's why you like playing Ike in Smash.
Yeah,
you thought
because
Ike
he's
was like
fucking
the
cool,
coolest guy.
and his design in that game seems based on Berserk, and so I thought that was awesome. Like in the Wii game, his group feels like the Band of the Hawk or whatever.
The Band of the...
Whatever, Griffith's gang.
Okay, yeah, that's the Band of the Hawk. I thought you meant the later group.
No.
Yeah. It's
Let's talk to this guy.
cool.
He's my friend now.
You did it. You got Ross.
Ross.
Now you just need Barry.
Wouldn't surprise me if there was a Barry in the game.
Yeah.
Ross is another one of those characters that starts off real weak, but he'll become the super badass.
Anyways, the subject that I was trying to get onto and forgot about is GBA graphics.
Oh, true?
Game Boy Advance games are all very bright. I think it's because originally there was no backlight on the system, so, you know, it was hard to see. So they probably made the games really bright to compensate. And it's cool because the way that handhelds always were is that each one was like a handheld version of the previous console generation.
Yeah.
And this was like the Super Nintendo in your hands. But we never had a Super Nintendo, so I didn't start playing those games until more recently, and I realized they're all really dark. Like in terms of color palette, they're usually, I shouldn't say all, but they're usually a lot darker. Like if you play Zelda, fucking what's it called?
Oh shit, Ross is weak as fuck,
fucking
man.
slipping my mind right now.
Gonna
What's
get
the
his
name
ass
of the
kicked.
Zelda game for the Super Nintendo?
A Link to the Past?
Yeah, if you play A Link to the Past and then play what's it called? The Minish Cap, then like they are on the same like graphical level, but the Minish Cap is like 1,000 times brighter. And I like the look of the Minish Cap a lot more for that reason. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Minish Cap's the best game. I love it.
I'm really loving this on like the Wii now too, because it's got a backlight and everything looks really vibrant and cool.
Yeah.
And that makes me want to go back and
that's what I'm
get
saying.
some of these
like,
virtual console games.
Yeah, because if we were playing this on the actual Game Boy Advance, then you wouldn't really have a sense for how bright it is. But when you play these games on the SP or on like a computer, you know, because like now I play these games through emulators, and I've realized like how fucking bright they were, and I love it, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, next time on Digi Bros, more Fire Emblem.
All right.